Jai Hind everyone, my name is Aman Gupta. I am an assistant professor in MCA department. Today subject is privacy and security in online social media. So let's start. Today we are going to cover these topics: information privacy disclosure, how to control your privacy, how to protect your privacy, what are the open security issues in online social network, what do you mean by social engineering attacks, what is phishing, and how to avoid social media phishing attacks. We also discuss other of fraudulent entities. So let's start. First of all, what is information privacy disclosure? What is information that we shared with that we shared our personal information, that we shared upon the social media accounts. So these social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, these social media accounts allows individuals to create their online profiles and share their personal information with vast network of friends and with also with the number of strangers. People share news, their personal pictures, personal views, and nearly anything that's going on in their lives. So large amount of information that people share on social media, some of which is very personal, and this information uh, people like criminals also attracted to this information. So other viewers outside of their trusted circle of relatives and friends are also interested in this type of information, in personal information of individuals. Someone somewhere records much of what you do on your social media for reasons you may not know. So people, maybe some people wants to harm you, to collect your uh, personal information. So the government, spam bots, and companies, vindictive acquaintances, and worse still, cyber criminals could also have an interest in your personal information. They may use your personal information for wrong purposes. So the question is, can you control your privacy on online social networks? So what are the points that on which you can control your privacy when you share your information, your private information on social media account? So how can you protect your personal information? So conventional wisdom has continuously suggested that what we have to share and what we not have to share on social media accounts. So you only need to check. There are very much number of provisions that have been provided by different online social media to check some boxes. It is thought to move your social media privacy from weak to strong and protect your online information. Okay, but these points, it is hardly possible to control your social media privacy. So we cannot depend on this type of uh, activities that we performed on our social media privacy, that are given by the social media accounts, that we tick a box from weak to strong and we rely on it, and we say that we have been protected from the outside world. So in reality, it is hardly possible to control your social media privacy. Why? This is because even if you are doing everything possible to protect your privacy on social media, including deleting your account, but when you share some information on social media, then this information is already reached your friends, your relatives. So your personal information has been with your friends and relatives, then they also can share your personal information. Even getting rid of your social media apps may not be helpful in this case. If maybe you delete your social media account, you delete your Facebook account, Instagram account, but the information that you already posted on these accounts, maybe it can be shared by your friends, by your relatives. So you can't say that now you have totally out of these social media accounts. The evident lack of privacy on social media makes it important to protect your online privacy before you share anything on any social media platform. So question, what information are you sharing when you use social network? It means that what type of information you are sharing when you use your social networks. So first of all, what information you are sharing? You create your own profile on the social media account. So most social networks allow users to create detailed online profiles. What social networks do? It allows users to create their detailed online profiles and connect with other users in some way. So in profile, what information user provide? This may involve user sharing information with other users such as one's gender, age, name, address, mobile number, picture, familiar information, interest, education, and employment also. So this type of information has been provided by an individual to the social media profiles. Second one is your status. Most social networks also allow users to post their updates, status updates, in order to communicate with other users quickly. Though there may be privacy settings to restrict access to status updates. Restrict access to status update. These networks are frequently designed to broadcast information quickly and publicly. Status means that maybe you are going somewhere, so update you are going to Goa, etc. So this type of status has been posted on the social media accounts. Third one is your location. Many social networks are designed to broadcast your real-time location. Maybe you are going somewhere. I have reached this place. I have reached this place. So this type of real-time location has been updated by social media network. This might allow users to check into a local event or business or share one's location with contacts within their network. Fourth is shared content. Many social networks encourage users to share their content such as music, photographs, videos, and links to other web pages. Okay. Now, how may your social networking information be used and shared? So, the information you have been posted on your social networking or social media accounts, then how this information has been used. So, the information that you have been provided to social media, that is publicly available information. Okay. Every social network allows you to post some information that is completely publicly accessible. This can be anything from your username to individual post. Your username, you have made your account with some name, so this name is publicly available, to your entire account, maybe individual account or to your entire account. These kind of public posts are not blocked behind any kind of access. So your name is always visible to the other users. You cannot hide it. Your profile picture is also visible to the publicly available. This information is also publicly available, and on this information there will not be any kind of restriction. Anyone, including strangers, can view whatever is posted as public. Some information is meant to be shared as public, and everyone, because this information is shared as public, so everyone, maybe he can be a stranger, he can also view your information that you have shared. However, there may be other data that you share publicly without realizing it, that there are less obvious ways that your information may be treated as public without your permission. Without your permission, including certain information may be publicly visible by default. But in some situations, a user may be able to change the privacy setting to make the information private. So, only the approved users can view it. Approved user means that that is in your friend list, your relatives, okay, friends or of friends. So this type of, we can change our settings on the post to and make it from public to private. Other information must remain public. The user does not have an option to restrict access to it. User cannot restrict. Some information remains public as users does not have any right to restrict this information. A social network can change its privacy policy at any time without a user's permission. Content that was posted with restrictive privacy policy may become visible when a privacy policy is altered. Approved contacts, as I have already discussed, approved contacts are what? That people on your friend list or people that follow you on Instagram, including photos or personal information without a user's permission, potentially bypassing privacy settings. Okay, so maybe the approved contacts or friend of yours can repost your photos, your personal information without a user's permission. They can access your personal data and repost that data. Third party applications that have been granted access may be able to view information that a user or a user's contacts post privately. Social networks themselves do not necessarily guarantee the security of the information that has been uploaded to a profile, even when those posts are said to be private. Means the social networks cannot guarantee that the information you said to be private is actually not accessed or is secured, is totally secured. They cannot be guaranteed. While security flaws and breaches are usually quickly fixed, there are potential for taking advantage of leaked information. So there is there also a scope of security flaws, that your information have been leaked. Open security issues. What are the open security issues that may come in open online social networks? So first of all, privacy. Privacy concerns with social networking services that have been raised growing concerns amongst users on the dangers of giving out too much personal information, as the too much personal information is posted on the social network sites. So there may be a danger on that information that has been publicly provided. And the threat of sexual predators, users of these services also need to be aware of data theft or viruses. So this type of security issues may occur in online social networks. In addition, there is a perceived privacy threat in relation to placing too much personal information in the hands of large corporations or governmental bodies, allowing a profile to be produced on an individual's behavior. That may be your interest, you are interested in something. They can say that what type of content you are continuously searching. So they may benefit through this type of information on which decisions detrimental to an individual may be taken. So this type of information that we have posted in a large amount of data that is used by the large corporations and also by the governmental bodies for their own benefits. Access to information. Third one is access to information. Many social networking services such as Facebook provide the user with a choice of who can view their profile. This prevents unauthorized users from accessing their information. So Facebook also provide this type of, but no, all the sites have not provided this type of feature. So who can view their profiles. This type of setting, we can have this type of setting in our Facebook account. For teenagers who do not want their profile seen by their parents, so by making their profile private, the teenagers can have benefit through this type of security provided by the Facebook, that who can view their profile. So teenagers maybe get benefit that nowadays children do not want to don't want that their parents see their profiles on social media. So what they can do, they make their profile private. Teens can select who may see their page, allowing only people added as friends to view their profile and preventing the pages viewed by their parents. Most teens are constantly trying to create a structural barrier between their private life and their privates. Nowadays, children do not want that parents get interfered in their personal life. So, they may get advantage of this type of setting and they restrict their parents to view their personal page. Potential for misuse. The relative freedom afforded by social networking services has caused concern regarding the potential of its misuse by individual patrons. The risk for child safety. Citizens and governments have been concerned with misuse by child and teenagers of social networking services, particularly in relation to online sexual predators. They can get benefit through this. Who wants children to get affected through these type of social media accounts? Overuse of social networking may also make children more susceptible to depression and anxiety, as we see nowadays that children spend more of their time on these social networking, social media sites. So they can have depression and anxiety, sleepiness, this type of symptoms we have seen in our children. Social networking can also be a risk to child safety in another way. Parents can get addicted to OSN, open online social networks, and neglect their children. So not only children but parents also get addicted to use these type of accounts and spend their time, rather to give their time, precious time, to their children. They can neglect their children and the time gives to the social media accounts. Now, trolling. A common misuse of social networking sites such as Facebook is that it can emotionally abuse individuals. Such actions are often referred to as trolling, troll someone. It is not rare for confrontations in the real world to be translated online. Trolling means to have some bad words to someone, publicly say some bad words to someone. So that is trolling. Now, online bullying. Online bullying means is also called cyberbullying. It is a relatively common occurrence and it can often result in emotional trauma for the victim. When someone troll or bullying some to an individual, so the victim can have the emotional trauma. Networking sites like Facebook may result in and too much emotional stress. There are not many limitations as to what individuals can post when online. Individuals are given the power to post offensive remarks or pictures that could potentially cause a great amount of emotional pain for another individual. Interpersonal communication has been growing issue as more and more people have turned to social networking as a means of communication. We have most of the time communicate with our friends and relatives through the online social networks. So these networking sites have become popular sites for youth to explore themselves. Youths and we also spend most of our time on these sites to explore these sites, relationships, and share cultural artifacts. Many teens and social networking users may harm their interpersonal communication by using sites such as Facebook and Twitter. So, these sites can harm the youths by exploit their interpersonal communication, this type of sites. Next is credibility of content and trustworthiness of user. As mentioned earlier, there is no limitation on what an individual can post on online social network. An individual can post everything, their personal information, and can also comment on anything that they feel about anything. So, uh, there is no way to decide the trustworthiness of a user and the content posted by that particular user, that the content that is posted by some individual is right or wrong. No one can say that. Next one is social engineering attacks. What is social engineering? Social engineering is used for a broad range of malicious activities accomplished through human interaction. So it uses psychological manipulation to trick user into making security mistakes or giving away sensitive information. So sensitive information that is passed from one person to another can have the malicious attacks. Social engineering attacks happen in one or more steps. So how can social engineering attacks can happen? First of all, a perpetrator, the person who wants to harm or who wants to gain some data from some site or some individual data. So what he does first of all, he investigates the intended victim to gather necessary background information such as potential points of entry and weak security protocols, that how can he proceed for the attack. So what the data, what the points that he can use and proceed with the attack. Then the attacker moves to gain the victim's trust. Second is, first of all, he collects all the data about the individual whom he want to harm. First of all, collect the data and check all the security loopholes. And then he gain the victim's trust. How? By sending a friend request and provide the subsequent actions that break these security practices, such as revealing sensitive information or granted access to critical resources. When someone trusts on someone, he can add his to his friend list, and then he can access all his personal data. Now, what are the types of social engineering attacks? These are some common types of social engineering attacks, that is phishing, whaling, baiting, diversion theft, business email compromise, that is called BEC, and smishing. So, these are some of the common type of social engineering attacks. First of all, what is phishing? It is a cyber attack that leverages email, phone, SMS, social media, or other form of personal communication to entice users to click a malicious link, download infected files, or reveal personal information. What type of information? That is passwords or account numbers, their personal passwords or account numbers. So, while the most well-known phishing attacks usually involve outlandish claims such as a member of a royal family requesting an individual's banking information, the modern phishing scam is far more sophisticated. So, in many cases, a cyber criminal may masquerade, may act as a retailer, service provider, or government agencies to extract personal information. Personal information that may seem benign, as such as email address, phone numbers, the user's date of birth, or the names of the family members. So, this type of information can be taken in this phishing attack, and this type of information can be misused to harm the individual. Second is whaling. What is whaling? It is a type of phishing attack. It is also a type of phishing attack that also leverages personal communication to gain access to users' device or their personal information. Whaling also does the same task as phishing does. Difference between phishing and whaling is has to do with the level of personalization. While phishing attacks are not personalized and can be replicated for millions of users. So one type of fraud can be uh, duplicated or replicated for millions of users. Whaling attacks target only one person, typically a high level executive. This type of attack requires a significant amount of research on an individual, so that is cost effective, which is usually done by reviewing their social media activity and other public behavior. So the cyber criminal continuously target a person and do a significant amount of research on that person, have eye on that, on the personal activities of that person, and see their social media activity and other behavior, that what we post, where he go. So this type of activities, he make an eye on that person. This in-depth research results in more sophisticated outreach and a higher likelihood of success. Third one is baiting. It is a type of social engineering attack wherein scammers make false promises to users in order to lure them into revealing personal information or installing malware on the system. Through this type of attack, the victim can reveal their personal information and can also install malware on their system. Baiting scams can be in the form of tempting ads or online promotions such as free game, movie download, music streaming, phone upgrades. The attacker hopes that the password the target uses to claim the offer is one they have also used on other sites, which can allow the hacker to access the victim's data or sell the information to other criminals on the dark web. So this way the data can be accessed through these type of social networking sites. Now diversion theft. What is diversion theft? It is a cyber attack that is originated offline. This type of attack is originated offline and then it converts into online attack. In this attack, a thief persuades a courier to pick up or drop off a package in the wrong location, deliver an incorrect package, or deliver a package to the wrong recipient. Diversion theft has since been adapted as an online scheme. The malicious actor steals confidential information by tricking the user into sending it to the wrong recipient. First of all, it has been done through offline. Nowadays, it has been done through online activities. This attack type involves spoofing, which is a technique used by the cyber criminals to disguise themselves and they show themselves as the trusted source. Spoofing can take many forms such as spoofed emails, IP spoofing, DNS spoofing, GPS spoofing, website spoofing, and spoofed calls also. So, spoofing, by using spoofing, the cyber criminals can have diversion theft of the personal data or personal information of the victims. Now, business email compromise. It is a social engineering tactic where the attacker poses as a trustworthy executive who is authorized to deal with the financial matters within the organization. So, in this attack, the scammer closely monitors the executive's behavior and uses spoofing to create a fake email account. Through impersonation, the attacker sends an email requesting their subordinates make wire transfers, change banking details, and carry out other money related tasks. Now, last one is phishing or SMS phishing. It is a social engineering attack conducting specifically through SMS messages. In this attack, scammers do attempt to lure the user into clicking on a link which directs them to a malicious site. Once on the site, the victim is then prompted to download a malicious software and content. So this has been done through the SMS. Smishing attacks have increased in popularity amongst criminals as people spend more time on mobile devices. While users have become savvier at detecting email phishing, many people are far less aware of the risk associated with the text messages. Smishing attack requires little effort for threat actors and is often carried out by simply purchasing a spoofing number and setting up the malicious link. That's all for today. Thank you so much.